This is Parashat Vayishlach. B'ezrat Hashem, we're going to start. Vayishlach Yaakov Malachim lefanav el Esav Achim Artzos Seir Sede Edom. Parashat starts Vayishlach Yaakov. Yaakov sent Malachim, messengers, lefanav before him, el Esav to Esav his brother, Artzah to the land Seir Sede Edom, the field of Edom. We're saying Yaakov sent Malachim. What does Malachim mean? Rashi says Malachim Mamash. What does Malachim Mamash mean? If you turn the page back, last week Parasha, we learned by Yaakov Haladarko, if you Malachi Elohim. Yaakov was going on his way and he met Malachi Elohim, the angels of Hashem. And when he saw the camp of that, it's called camps. Machanoim is plural form, camps. Rashi says, what's Machanoim? Shte Machanot Shel Solar. שתי מחנות, של חוץ הארץ שבאו עמו עד כאן ושל ישראל שבאו לגלותו. Two camps of Malachim. One camp of Malachim were the Malachim of Chutz Haaretz that they came with him till here, and the camp of the Malachim of Israel that they are going with Yaakov Avinu. It's interesting that by Yaakov we find the concept of Malach. We find that the Malachim come confront him. You saw last Parasha of Machanoim. Here he sends the Malachim to help him to go against Esav. I was shocked that by Yaakov we find so many Malachim. We're going to see in the parasha he fought with the Sasha Esav. Therefore, what's the point? How you tell us that Yaakov Midah, Avraham Midah was Chesed, Yaakov Yitzchak was Din. Yaakov is Tifel, is Torah. Somebody who lives with Torah, somebody that's Kovach and power of Torah, he has power above the physical world. Just like he goes after Torah and he fights with physicality and he comes above physicality, then measure by measure, HaKadosh Baruch Hu helps him out above physicality. In other words, every Jew, there is a malach to watch him. The power of this malach and how much this malach is going to save him depends on how much he tries to keep Torah and mitzvah. The way more and more, here, Yaakov Avinu is Ish Torah. Therefore, since he's the Ish Torah and he keeps the Torah, he creates Malachim to watch it. By Tzabotam Lemor, he commanded them like this. You should say like this, shall say to my master Esav, you could tell him like this, your servant Yaakov said so. Im Lavan Garti, I lived with Lavan, and I delayed, I lingered till now, and right now I have acquired ox and donkey, son, sheep, evet servants, shipcha, maid servants. And I'm sending to tell my master to find favor in your eyes. Now what's the point? First of all, Chachamim admonish Yaakov. They tell him that Chazak be'oznei keleb. There is this dog that is moving and is walking. You go and play with his ears. Then what happens? The dog comes back to you. Why do you do that? Let him go. Why do you want to go? They will admonish Yaakov to start up. Therefore, we learn from here a lesson. If somebody does something to do with you, don't start up with him. Therefore, this is starting up. Chacham didn't like it. Now, what was the message? What was his intention? He said that if I go there and surprise my brother, maybe it's not going to be such a good surprise. Therefore, let me go and tell him. What did he tell him? First of all, he told him with Kabul, Ladoni le'esav. Very interesting point in Chinuch. If you want to respect somebody, and you want your children or surrounding you to respect, even not in front of him, you have to respect him. He told the messenger, Esau is my master. That to make sure that when we go to him, they treat him like a master of their master. Yaakov said like this, Im Lavan Garti, I lived with Lavan. Now, Im Lavan Garti and no, the father gave me a beracha. What was the beracha? Rashi says, Garti Ras Nisar Bechash, you're like, in Hakital Snoti Al Berachot Avicha, Shiberchani, Hava Geviracha. You don't have to don't have to hate me because of the brachot, because anyway the brachot was not mekayem. But Abba said, "Mitala shamayim, this and that. What do I'm a stranger. I got nothing. The message was dual message. In one way, he's saying that don't hate me on Berachot. Berachot is nothing. Now, you might think that I went to Lavan. And the father said, if you put down the Torah, if you don't keep the Torah, then Esau could overcome. Now, what do you think? I went to Lavan and I forgot the Torah. گرت میگم چرا ترگم کلومت این لابان هراشا گرت ترگ میسو چه مرتی این لابان هراشا I lived but I kept the ترگ میسو it's not the time that you could overcome it 600 mitzvot I kept now Rabbi Ruderman says Rashi doesn't stop right over here he says unbelievable point he said I kept ترگ mitzvot Keeping Taryag Mitzvot doesn't mean that all of your act is proper. All of the things, the behavior is right. I didn't learn from his bad actions. I didn't learn wrong behavior from him. That I kept Taryag Mitzvot, it's not enough to keep Taryag Mitzvot. There are some at Shulchan Aruch, there are 4 Chalakim of Shulchan Aruch, always they say there's a 5th Chalakim of Shulchan Aruch. The 5th Chalakim is not written. Something that the person has to know, to understand, to get it through written. In other words, every page of Torah has black part and white part. Some people they just learn the black and they go with it. But no, there's a white part also says something. There's a space, there is a derech eres. There is something about the white spot. Therefore, person has to learn that also. Now, Mefarshim say, how is it possible? Rambam tells us that if somebody lives with the Russia, it's impossible not to be influenced by Russia. For sure you get influenced. Now how come Yaakov here, with full of pride, is saying that, I lived with Laban, I didn't learn. What do you mean you didn't learn? Of course he had impact on you. But he says, Vayhi shor v'chamor. What does Vayhi shor v'chamor means? He was for me ox and donkey. Who? Laban. Vayhi shor v'chamor. In other words, Laban was like a cow and donkey for me. In other words, you learn from the surrounding when you give chashivut to, when you give importance to. You are sitting down with your children. Wow, this mansion. Wow, these things. Wow. The children learn what you are giving the most importance. And they follow it up. That becomes the measure of their life. But here, Laban is saying that, Yaakov is saying that I live with Laban and I delay till now, but Laban was a cow, like a donkey. If you look at what they are doing, it's like an animal. It's animalistic. It's not right. It's not proper. We don't give chashivut. We don't learn. Therefore, all is we are shooting our own legs. We give chashivut. We give importance. We give credit, and then we are painful. How come our children are not going right derech, are not getting the right derech? Therefore, it's like Abba Mali mitarashamayim mishkan ares. Zu ein alo berashmayim min haares. Keshor chamor derech eres man bekir. I want to inform you that I'm coming to you. The Malachim returned, the messengers returned to Yaakov Lemor saying, we came to one that you think is your brother. You should know it's not your brother, it's Esau. He's going in front of you, 400 people with him. Rashi, Banu, I'm in peace with you and I'm therefore we learn something from Yaakov also. Always we should seek for shalom, for peace. No matter what is the price, person should pay the price and make peace. You said he's a brother, but he's acting like a Russia. Still is no. And he's coming with Arba Meot Ishemu. Rabbeinu Bechaya said, we don't know what's the number of Arba Meot. What's the significance of 400? He says that I looked around, I couldn't find anything to give. But finally he said, Misat Kabbalah, I guess we have 4 sides, and every side, the ultimate of every side is 100. 400 Ishemu, yani full Tumach of Tumah. Very interesting. Therefore the parasha, we have confrontation of Yaakov, that he became like a malach, the parasha says, and malach with the Esau that he didn't leave any step of tumah. 400 levels of tumah is getting and coming. So we have a confrontation of the 2 opposing kochot. Koch of tumah, koch of tahara. Vayira Yaakov me'od v'etzelo. Yaakov became very frightened, me'od v'etzelo, and he distressed, and it distressed him. And he divided the people that were with him with the sheep, the flock, and the cow, like the malim and camels, two camps. If Esau comes to one machane Vayishlach and he strikes one, the other camp would be for Pleta. Therefore, machane mishtavish v'zachar with food. Rashi is saying, because I'm going to hit Qinatzma l'shusha dorim Rashi. In other words, here Ramban says, from here we learn out how should we deal with Goyim, like our father did, Yaakov. He prepared him well for three things. What are Ledoron? He sent the gift, Letefillah, Ul-Milchama. Three things. Doron, gift, Tefillah, and fight. Ledoron, Leta'avor Hamincha al-Panav, Letefillah, Eloi Avi Avraham, Lemilchama, Avi Amachaneshah, Lefetah. Okay, very good. Therefore, Rashi is telling us that he said that when Menachem Begin wanted to go to Camp David, he went to Rabshach. And he asked him, what should I do, how should I do? He said that you should learn this parasha well. You deal with the Goyim, you have to do three things. One, Tefillah, gift, and Milchama. You have to prepare for several. Like that Yaakov Avinu, he prepared. Yaakov Avinu, what?
He's going?
He went.
Esau is going?
Yeah. Therefore, here Yaakov Avinu, he's preparing himself for three things. One is the Son of Israel. One is that he has to prepare himself for the fight. Now, Mefarshim say, why was he afraid so much, Yaakov? What is it that so much is afraid? Mefarshim say that he was afraid because Shema Igromachet. Even though Hashem promised him that I'm going to take you back and you're going to be b'shalom, but he says Shema Igromachet. Maybe sin would cause me to lose my zechut and my merit. Therefore, he was afraid of that. See, here you are. Yaakov Avinu had promised from HaKadosh Baruch Hu that he would come back shalom, but he's afraid of sin because he knows nobody is clean in front of Hashem. Now here we are that people they come and they ask, I'm Shomer Shabbat, I'm doing Torah, why these things happen to me? Why that thing happens to me? In other words, the person feels that here Yaakov Avinu HaKadosh Baruch Hu promised him to keep him and everything. He feels he doesn't have zechut, he doesn't have merit. He says that maybe my sin, in other words, the person cannot say that I'm not in front of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, I'm clean in front of Hashem. There are a lot of things that the person might be doing. Therefore, he didn't trust. That's why Yaakov said, therefore, he prepared himself for the Milchama. Yaakov said, Elohi Avi Avraham, God, my father Avraham, God on my father Yitzchak. Whenever that we want to daven, we relate it to our father, the zechut of father. We don't rely on our own zechut. Hashem the Hashem who told me, go back to your land and your birthplace. I will do good to you, with you. I'm unworthy of all of the kindness and all of the truth that you did to your servant. Because I passed this across the garden with my staff, only my staff. And right now I'm become two camps. Please save me, rescue me from my brother, from Esau. I'm afraid of him. Maybe he comes and strikes me. Mother and children. That's Avraham. And you told me that you're going to do to me. And you put with something, and I will put your generation of between like a sand of the sea. That wouldn't be counted from numerous. Being too numerous. 1 minute. Now, what is he saying? That's a tefillah. Tefillah that is davening to HaKadosh Baruch Hu is he's saying that to Hashem, right, that HaKadosh Baruch Hu, please help me out. Now, the Gemara in Berachot says that the person has to have sheminit of arrogancy. A person should have sheminit 1/8 of 1/8. There's a lot of explanation in the Gemara. What does it mean that arrogancy? You should not have any. You shouldn't be arrogant at all. What the Gemara says that arrogancy you should have sheminit. The Gaon says, what's a sheminit? Sheminit means the 8th parasha. What's the 8th parasha in Torah? Parasha Vayishlach. What's the 8th pasuk from the parasha? واسه 8 پاس رو برام تو پاراشا this is you داره خاطون تیم بکنه خاصه میگم در داشته that much arrogance a person could have when you feel that I'm unworthy of all of the kindness and emet that you did to me. Because with Machli Abar I just with the Machli staff and on two Machanot. There was recognition of Chasodim of Hashem, recognition of whatever that the person has, HaKadosh Baruch Hu gave to me. I'm unworthy of. Like the Mishnah says, a person came from a tipas rucha, from a spoiled drop. If HaKadosh Baruch Hu would have freezed that spoiled drop, the person would not be here. His chokhmah, his wisdom, his mansion, his wealth, his prestige, his kavod. Everything depends on that small drop, that spoiled drop. If HaKadosh Baruch Hu would have freezed that, nothing would have been here. Therefore, always a person has to realize that it's not me, it's HaKadosh Baruch Hu. That's the arrogance of God. All of the chasod and emet that HaKadosh Baruch Hu did to me. Now, Rashi says, "Nitmei tu zechita al-yedei chasodim." My zechut became less because of zechut adid v'ahemet shastai mali that you did really. Lekach ani yareh shema shavtachtani lichnachli bechet v'yigrom li lehaimas b'yat Esau. Because from the time that you promised me, maybe I have done a sin, and now that sin would be a cause that I should be given over to Esau. Mikol haemet amitat levarcha shomart ali kol avtacha shavtachtani machli lo ayim lo keser Esau v'lo mechne ela machli v'loti. When I came out, I didn't have anything, only machli. میداشت اگادا ناتم مقالو بیارده ولی غیرده به مکلی آورده یارده میداشت اگادا says that he put his makal to yarden and split it up and he went through به مکلی آورده یارده I was very good, you were so kind to me. No, why didn't he have anything? Because Eliphaz comes to him and tells him that the father sent me to kill you, but you were my rabbi, I can't kill you, but I have to kill my father's word. What do? I make you oni. Oni is like a man. It takes away everything from him. Then we got nothing. No, he says that, say me miyad achim miyad Esau. Yaakov is realizing that Esau could hurt Kahal Israel in two different ways. One way, as a brother, as a friendship, as a brother. One way, as the Esau of Russia. Both are dangerous. Chachamim say, which one is more dangerous? Chachamim say that the brotherhood is more dangerous. When people from Tsar of Russian Tsar, they were going to Europe to enjoy the freedom of Europe, the Gedolei Israel said it's better to stay with Tsar, not to have that freedom. Because Miyad Achi, Miyad Esau. Achi is more dangerous than Esau. If it's a wicked, it's a Russia, but you don't get the assimilation. But if this Achi, friendship, they hurt us more, they damage us more. Why does it say Kechol Hayam here? HaKadosh Baruch Hu said Kahal Israel, they're going to be like a dirt, like a star, like a chol. Sand of the Yam. What's the sand of the Yam? Sand, in other words, sand of the Yam, the waves come to take away the sand, but whatever that the waves come to take away the sand, they can't. The sand is strongly standing. They will also, the wave of Esau is coming, but you told us you're going to be like a hole. No matter how strong the waves are, cannot uproot the chol. The chol still is there, the sand of the Yam. Therefore, please keep your promise. And he slept over that night, and he took from whatever that he had, a tribute, a gift for Esau's brother. Now, what did he take? There were three things. He wore tefillah and gave. Now, what's the gift? Izim matayim. She goats 200, utyashim esrim. He goats 20. In other words, for every zachar, for every male, there are 10 female. Rehalim, Eves, Matayim 200, Ve'elim and rams 20. Again 20, 200. For every one zachar, 20. Gemalim melekot u'menehem, Gemalim camels. Now, very interesting, the pasuk Tetvav, the gift that he gives, if you notice all of the word as mem at the end. Izim, Matayim, Utyashim, Esrim, pasuk of Tetvav. Now, Chachamim say that how come this pasuk of the gift has mem, all of the words as mem, and it starts with mem, and all of the letters finishes with mem. Mem and mem becomes mum. All of the animals that he gave to him had blemish. Why? Because he didn't want that the Esav should bring a korban to Avodah Zarah. Now, if you help a goy, you have to make sure that the goy should not go and promote that for Avodah Zarah. That's why on the day that the goy is celebrating his Avodah Zarah, you should not give him a gift. Avodah Zarah says. Why? Because when you give him a gift, you say, oh, my God made this gift to get gift. Therefore, whatever that the person does that promotes Avodah Zarah, the person should not do that. Therefore, this pasuk, all of them has the men.
40 cows
Yeah, kosher, right. That they made them blemish. Mum yani blemish. He made him blemish that it could not be used as a korban. Gemalim menikot b'neim. Now, by Gemalim is very interesting. By all of the other ones says male and female. By Gemalim says no. It's very interesting. In Hebrew, we don't have gemalot. We have plural form for nekeva, female, vav tav, and for zachar yud mem. We have gemalot, gemalim. Just gemalim said no. To say that the nekeva is gemalim menikot, nursing gemalim. That's nekeva. Ubneim says their children shloshim. Now, how come it doesn't say the zachar? Rashi says it doesn't say Zohar. Why? B'nei mahem. B'nei banahem. B'nei mahem. B'nei don't read it b'nei bin b'neihem. B'nei means chi. B'neihem means banahem. Zohar can get the if you should know about Tashmish, do pisma katu. Really b'neihem doesn't mean b'neihem. Means b'neihem. B'neihem means builder. Who is the builder? The husband. They were the husband and the female are shloshim. Now, why didn't Torah say that openly? Camels are modest when they are together. When they are together. Now, what's the modesty of the camel? There are two ways I know to understand. One way is that from back to back, they don't see each other. That's the type of modesty. Or if there is anybody there, they are not going to be together. They make sure nobody's around. That's the type of modesty. The Gemara says, modesty we learn from camel. Now, very interesting point, that Torah is calling husband Bana'ehem, builder. Because Torah is recognizing the husband builds up a wife. In other words, the Zohar HaKadosh says, wife comes from Shuvah Segula. Then it's Mistugal. Mistugal means there's a potential to be molded. Now, the mold comes from the husband. To be molded.
A wife has a potential.
Right, to be molded. Therefore, the husband is bana'ehem. The confidence, the way that talks about her, the way that gives her courage. That's the bana'ehem, bonehem. In other words, that's the husband is bonehem. They build them up. They build up the wife with the way of talking, with the way of attitude, the way that and handling home. They build up their wives. Parot 40, cows 40, pari masara, bulls in the male 10. For every zochar 4, atunot esrim, she donkeys 20, vayarim and he donkey 10. For every zochar 2. Now, what's the order here? If you pay attention, all of the animals, if they don't work, they could be metapel with more female. If they are working hard, less. That is the psychology of life. What happens, and Gemara from here learns out the mitzvah buna. We have a mitzvah buna that the person has to have a relationship with his wife. It depends on the type of job that he has. It's that somebody goes overseas and 6 months goes on a trip and comes back, it's twice a year. Somebody is a camel, he goes with the camel 30 days, it's once a month. And depends on the job that the person has. There's a psychology of a person could get involved so much in his job and his avodah that intimacy of relationship would be lost. Therefore, that's a very interesting point that you learn from here, that a person has to be very careful not to let his intimacy of relationship with his wife to be sacrificed over doing the job and being so much involved in the job. Now, if you count everything that happened over here, all of the gifts are 550 gifts. 550 gifts that he gave, he caused that the Esau, we learn on the end of the parasha, that 8 kings, they have a kingdom from Esau before the Malchut of Israel. 550 comes from, 558 kings come from here. 550 gifts, yeah. Now, some Chachamim that admonish Yaakov for showing so much modesty and so much humble in front of Esau. When HaKadosh Baruch Hu told him that you're gonna be overriding him. Now, Vaytem beyad avodav and gave in the hand of the servants, Eder vado, each drove separately, Yomer avodav, and he told avodav, Ibnu lefanai, you should go in front of me. Space you should put the Eder between the drove and drove. Why should you put the space? Because the eyes, if you put all of the gift in one place, it doesn't look so big. If you put the space, it looks bigger and would be satisfy his instruction. He commanded the first one, keep Esav achi, when Esav, my brother, meets you, and he asks you, Lemi ata, from whose are you? Where are you going? Who are you? And where are you going? And for whom is it that? Says, Shishon, Lemi ata l'avdecha Yaakov. Mincha yishelucha. It's a mincha. Ladoni le'esav. And he comes after us. Vayitzav gam et hasheni, commanded the second one, the third one, and all of the people that go after Acharim lemor. Like this you say Esav, when you find him. When you should say that also, your servant Yaakov Acharenu is behind us. Because he said that I will appease his anger, his face, I will appease his face, with the gift that is going in front of me, and after that I'm going to see his face, maybe he would forgive, would lift up my face. And the mincha went al panav before him. Midrash says al panav, Midrash Agada al panav afu sholi bikas. The mincha went on his cas. He was angry that he has to go through this to send such a gift to Esav. And he overnight stayed at Machane in the camp. Now the Midrash says that the Lan Balayla, what he do was Sad of Sakana. He learned that night, and he was davening and praying to HaKadosh Baruch Hu all night. HaKadosh Baruch Hu should help him. And he got up on that night. Now, Balayla who? What does who mean here? If it is that night, it's Balayla who? What's who? It says Shekhinah. Once he davened and he prayed, and he did whatever that he was supposed to do, Shekhinah was him to help him out. He took two of his wives and two maidservants with and 11 children. And he crossed over the Ma'abar of Ya'abuk. Now, why Echadasar? He has 12 children. Now, Binyamin is not born, but Dina is here. With Dina Echana, Torah says, not Rabbetevav, Venal Befaneha, Shuitin Ba Esav. He put in a box that the Esav should not put his eyes on her. ולכך נענש, יעקב שמנע מאחיו, שמתחתון למוטב ונפל ביד שכם. That's why Yaakov got punished. What was the punishment of Yaakov? Because he did that, maybe תחתון למוטב, maybe it would make him to do tshuva. ונפל ביד שכם, and she fell in the hand of Shechem ben Hamor. Therefore, the Chachamim said, you didn't give her to Mahul, somebody who had circumcised, and Berit Milah, now she's going to go with somebody who's not Mahu. Now what's Pshat? First him say, Esav had the grandfather Avraham. Avraham couldn't make him to do Teshuvah. Yitzchak, the father couldn't. Rivka couldn't. What do you want from this poor lady? Dina could do. The Midrash over here says, Hakol b'yad Paisha. A lady could do everything. Whatever that the grandfather couldn't do, the rabbi couldn't do, anybody couldn't do, wife could do. Wife, especially Dina was a remedy. Dina was the metaphor. Dina was the remedy for Esav, because Dina also is the din, Esav also is din. Dina was able of changing the Esav. There were the Midrash from here. The lady has power to do whatever that she could do. Therefore, in other words, the greatest power in the world is the intimacy of Shalom Bayit, of wife and husband. Through that Shalom, that peace, the things could be done unbelievably. That's the point of the Gemara. Gemara says that whatever that the rabbi cannot do, whatever that the father cannot do, because the relationship of them is a much different relationship. But the relationship of intimate relationship of the husband and wife, that relationship is very unique. That could bring out a lot of power. Therefore, that's the point of the Midrash here. Now, he says that he took Midrash Agada and he took them and moved them, whatever that he had,
To the other side.
right, to the other side. Now Rashi says, Rashi says that when he wanted to wear Yabor Mavok, when he wanted to go to the Ma'avar Yabok, to the river of the Yabok, he made himself like a gashar. Gashar is like a ferry. Somebody has a boat, takes people from here to there, or becomes like a gesher, like a bridge. Now it's interesting that when he came out from the Betamidosh Betaveve, he says, he says he put the makal and split it up. That's coming from Betamidosh. Here is coming out from
House of Lavan.
House of Lavan. After how many years of working and avodah, now he wants to be Ma'avar Yabok. What should he do? He has to put effort and to go and do. It's not the natural response. It's not the natural response. Over there, after Torah, you have a natural response of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. You put the makkah, split it up. But here, after working, there is that natural response to Torah was not there. You work, now you have to work for yourself. Yaakov stayed by himself. And somebody wrestled with him at Alodashaka till rise of the dawn. And he saw that he cannot do it. The malach, ish over here is the malach, he cannot do it. And he stroked the socket of his hip. And it was dislocated, the socket of the hips of Yaakov, when they were wrestling together. And he told him, send me out, because rise in the Shacha. And he said, what's your name? Yaakov should not be said your name, Kim Israel, but Israel, because you have a struggle with Malach, with angels, with Anoshim, and with men, and you overcame. Who are the people? Lavan and Esau. Vayishlach Yaakov Yemar Shemicha, and he asked him, told him your name. And he blessed him there. Yaakov called the name of the place Peniel, Kiraiti Elohim, not Peniel, Penekel. Kiraiti Elohim, Pani Bani, because I saw a malach face to face, but not a nafshi. And yet I'm saved my life. Vayishlach lo Hashemesh, the sun rise for him, when he passed Penuel, and he was limping on his hip. Therefore, Ben Israel, they are not going to eat et gid hanasheh, the sinew of that was displaced, that socket of the hip, ad hayom hazeh till now, because he struck the socket of the hip of Yaakov, begid hanasheh, the sinew of displaced. Very good. Therefore, this is Torah description of Yaakov, Yaakov levado. This is what Chazal say, Yaakov levado, just like Yaakov is levado, the Atilah, HaKadosh Baruch Hu is levado. Just like Yaakov is levado, Hashem is levado. Means to say that Yaakov got to a position that there was nothing important in this world except Hashem. Just like there's the Bechin of Hashem levado, Yaakov in his lifetime got to paint of levado. In other words, there is nothing in this world except Hashem. Now, what's happening here, he has to go and fight with Esau. Before fighting with Esau, he has to overcome the Sarshel Esau, because everybody has a power.
Overcome what?
He has to overcome the Sarshel Esau, because everybody has a physical power and a spiritual power. The spiritual power of Esau is Sarshel Esau, the Malach of Esau. Vayavech Ishtimu, and the Malach, Sarshel Esau came and fought with him at Elojah. Now, Vayavech in Lashon of Hebrew comes from Avak. Avak means dust. The Gemara in Chulin says, from this fight, dust came up. And where did the dust go? The dust went to Kisah HaKavod, in front of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Now, what does that mean? And what do we learn from it? In other words, here we are talking about the struggle of Yaakov, and while he's struggling with the kovach of wrath, force of wicked force, then it has avak. That the avak goes to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. In other words, a person has a temptation. He overcomes the temptation. He fights. He doesn't surrender. Now he says, HaKadosh Baruch Hu is saying that even the dust of that fight is important for me. Even the dust should come in front of Yaakov. Unbelievable yesod in our behavior with Satan and fighting with Satan. This is the pattern of fighting with Satan. In other words, whenever that the person has a fight, has a struggle, and he fights, and he tries to take away the temptation, it's the arrogancy, it's the jealousy, it's the taiva. The student not start to see some place he sees, or should not eat something, should eat, or whatever jealousy, whatever decision comes. That the struggle, when a person fight that the person starts struggling, doesn't surrender, the dust of that goes in front of Kisakabu. Because that is the most important chashuv thing on this earth. Person makes twin tower, it's not a miss for HaKadosh Baruch Hu. The Avach doesn't go to Kisakabu. But the person, a Jew, has a nisayon, has a temptation, and he overcomes the temptation, the Avach, the dust goes to up HaKadosh Baruch Hu.
That's what it says. Yes,
no, Ad Alot HaShachar, therefore they fought till Alot HaShachar, the rise of the dawn. Means that the time of darkness, time of Galut. In the Galut we have to fight till gets light. Light is a time of Mashiach comes. At that time of Galut we have to fight and we have to fight. Now, for fight, we need challenge. What are the challenges in life? Challenge for somebody is $1. Because of $1, he makes himself nasty, he says shaker, he lies, he dies.
Disgusting.
Somebody, the challenge for him is $100. Somebody is $1,000. Everybody has a price. Somebody is $10,000. Somebody is $1 million. One is $2 million. Everybody has a price. Somebody has a taiva, the taiva takes it. Somebody's jealousy takes it. Somebody's. Now, here you are. Yaakov Avinu is above everything. If you want to have a struggle for Yaakov, what should we do? You have to make a malach come from Shamayim down to fight with him. Because he fought so much and he has such a high darga and level that is above all of these things. Therefore, the only way that we could make a challenge for him is through a malach. A malach should come down, and that's the challenge that he has with the malach. Now, what does malach coming down mean? Malach could get a person, every materialistic that the person takes for the materialistic for the sake of materialistic, the malach could overcome. But Vayar Kilo Yachollo, he could not. Because Yaakov Avinu, his image became Kiseh HaKavod. He fought with everything. He didn't have anything that he could do. Vayiga B'kaf Yerecho. Only the socket of his hip. Now, there are 3 pshatim. What does it mean? Some pshatim say because he married 2 sisters. Shtei achayot. And Kaf Yerecho is close to the Evret Hashmish, in the intimate relationship. Therefore, that is the one. Some say because the fact that Radak learns because he gave so much kavod to Esau, he shouldn't have given so much kavod to Esau. That caused the thing. Therefore, he shouldn't have done that. And some say, Ramban says, no, Kaf Yerecho means his generation. His generation, HaKadosh Baruch Hu gave over to Esau. Shat Shema, like Chanukah is coming up, we learn about, what they did to Sadiqim and to those people that their generation. Like Kaf Yerech. In other words, now, Gid Hanoshi also, Lekyum Hamin. In other words, Gid Hanoshi also has to do with that. Now, he said that he can't do anything with him. He sent me because Rashi says Ala Shachar means I have to go to do my shira. He says that he says Kim Brachtan, you should make me bless me. No, what does it blessing? In other words, he wanted that the Esau should admit that Yaakov got the bracha. Now, the Yaakov comes from the word of trick. He says that no, you are not trick, you are Israel, Sarkel, Yaakov, lo yomar od shab berachot ba ulach Rashi be'akeva v'remiya. Kim b'sirara be'galui panim. B'suv chashav Baruch Hu nigla alecha betel. Now, the HaKadosh Baruch Hu comes there and Hashem says that, the brachot is a good brachot, and the Sar Shel Esav agrees with that. No, he tells him that, the Gemara says over here that the Sarsheh Esav tells him that when HaKadosh Baruch Hu later on changes your name, I'm going to come there and I admit, let me go. He says no. Because the Gemara says if a person has a zechut, has a merit, should grab it right away. Because you don't know what happens tomorrow. You're going to have that chance tomorrow or not, we don't know. Therefore, if you have a zechut and merit, you should grab it. Vayishlach Yaakov Yomer Hagid Dana Shemecha. Tell me your name. Yomer Lama Tishal. Why do you ask my name? No, Pshat is, why do you ask my name? Don't think that we have power. We don't have power. Our power is HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Therefore, if you know my name and call upon me, I can't save you. I can't do anything to you. That's one Pshat. Now the Pshat is a deeper Pshat. Lama Tishal means that Sarsheh Esav is Satan. What does name mean? Name is the essence of a person. His ID. Now, what does Satan do? Satan, when he introduces himself, he uses right ID or wrong ID?
Fake ID.
Fake ID. Therefore, Satan doesn't have any name. They were saying that, why are you asking my name? Name means essence. Essence means what's the description of a person. Satan, by definition, cannot have any name. Because always he looks somebody, disguised himself. He disguised himself to cheat people. Therefore, by definition, he doesn't have any name. Because he never introduces himself as his own name. And he benched him there. Therefore, now whatever that we learn from here is that, from here, what we learn here is like this, that, in other words, with Satan Yetzer Hara, the only thing that we have to do, by Ya'avek. Ya'avek means we don't surrender. We start the fight. If you surrender, you surrender. But when you start the fight, HaKadosh Baruch Hu would help you. From here we learn out that Yaakov Avinu was capable of fighting with this malach. Why? Because Vayavek. What does Vayavek means?
Start.
Right? He started the fight. In other words, but the Shua comes from Hashem. Now, Vayishlach Shema Peniel, Kirayit Tikloim Penanim Panim, and that's the Vayishlach Hashemesh, Penel Ve'utzoli Al Yerchan Yibit Al Kenah. They don't eat Gidan Hashem because Asher Kavayirech Adayim Aseh Kiran Kavayirech Gidan Hashem. Now, Chinuch says, why don't we eat Gidan Hashem? Why don't we eat Gidan Hashem? Remember this point, this episode. Now, why is it so important to remember this? Because do you know what does it says over here? Over here it says that he couldn't overcome until Shachar, Arot HaShachar. Means in the long Galut, no matter what Esav does to us, they cannot destroy us. They cannot finish us. They cannot destroy and wipe out all Kahal Israel. They cannot do that. Arot HaShachar. Just like here he is, whatever that here the Simon is, that Yaakov is doing for the offspring of Yaakov, that throughout the history, they cannot destroy Kahal Israel. Kahal Israel at the end of the day would come up with Moshiach. So whenever that we don't eat Gid Hanashe, that's the remembrance that we should have. That's the thing that we should have. Therefore, if you notice here,
blue part is coming out.
Yeah, that the bones was dislocated, and the sinew is right over here. The sinew is right over here. That in the animal, that's why we don't eat it in animal. See, this is the place that was dislocated, and this is the sinew that we don't eat. Sciatic sinew that we don't eat. It's very good. Chinuch is very interesting. Chinuch says that is to remember that no matter how much we're gonna have Galut, and no matter how much we have in Galut, HaKadosh Baruch Hu would save us. It's the bone, and that's the sinew. Right, the yellow.
We don't eat the meat, or we don't eat the
Sinew. We don't eat the nerve. But the fat around it and this is the right. The Rabbanon also made things also.
How much you should also should pass?
Mid Rabbanon. No, really regel, another thigh we could eat. In Iran we used to eat it because we know how to make it clean. But in America they don't eat it. They sell everything to the God. Vayishlach Yaakov eno vayar v'hinei Esav ba. Yaakov lifta b's'ayz and he saw that Esav is coming. V'imo 400 ish, 400 men with him. Vayechas et ha'yiladim al Leah v'Rachel, and he divided the children onto Leah and Rachel, v'ashtish v'achod, and two maidservants. Vayastem et ha'shevachot, and he put the maidservants with Yalden Rishonah first, Vedla Vedo Achranit, Vedla Vedo Sev Achranit. Now do Achron Chavi. The more important they are, you put it back to be safe. Baba Lifleim, and he went to Vayishlach Arsa, and he bowed down Sheva Pamim 7 times.